Hey guys, Ryan with Home Lab Tech Support here. Today in this video I'm going to show you how to make your own private VPN server. Let's dive in. To do this we're going to be using PiVPN. PiVPN was originally created to be installed on a Raspberry Pi, but it also works on any Debian VPS or server. Using this it's going to give us an interactive interface, not graphical, but still a lot better than creating our own configurations, and we could probably get going in under 10 minutes. So let's dive in. To get started, I'm going to do this on DigitalOcean. You can do this on your own Raspberry Pi, a server at home, Proxmox, ESXi, Hyper-V, Amazon, wherever you want to install this. I'm going to create a Debian droplet. And honestly, guys, having the minimum droplet for $5 a month is going to be plenty for what we're going to do, as long as you're the only one, or you add one, maybe two people to this. Do keep in mind that there are transfer limits, so you'll only have 1 terabyte of transfer on this droplet, whereas larger droplets you'll have more throughput for the month of the billing period. We don't need any block storage. New York is fine for me. I already have my SSH key in here, so this is awesome, so I won't have to use a password. And I'm going to add to this, whoops, if I can spell it right, so that I know what this droplet is. I don't need backups, honestly. I mean, it's $1 a month. It's, not expensive, but if this goes wrong, it's not like I'm storing anything on here. Do the do. Okay, looks like my droplet's up and running, and we have our IP address, so we'll go ahead and copy that. New terminal, SSH root at blah. Yes, I want to trust. Go ahead and unlock my private key. Wham bam, thank you ma'am, we're in. This is why I like using services like this. It's just so fast. Okay, first thing I'm going to do is run apt update. Then I'm going to run apt upgrade. This is just making sure everything is up to date. Perfect. Okay, from here, let's go back to PiVPN, and we're going to grab the curl script. If I can highlight properly, there we go. And we're just going to paste it in. Okay, another, simple error. Bash curl not found. So apt install curl. Are you sure we want to install? Yep. All right, let's go back to curl. Look at that! Your host name is too long. Enter a new host name. My VPN server. Okay, so again, this was created for Raspberry Pi, but we are able to install this on Debian. For this installation, we're going to be using OpenVPN. I'll do a separate video on WireGuard. PiVPN is a server, so it needs a static IP address. Yes, we already have a static IP address. Since we think you're not using Raspbian, we will not configure a static IP address. Very good. Choose a local user that will hold your VPN configurations. Debian. Sure. We want OpenVPN for this installation. Okay, we're going to do some custom settings, and we're going to do custom settings because we want to do TCP and on a different port other than 1194, and I'll explain that in just a moment. Okay, let's select TCP, and we want to do 443, so it already knows. Okay, cool. Yes. Quad 9 is fine. No, I don't want a custom search domain. So this is a static IP address already from my DigitalOcean droplet. If you want, you could use a DNS entry, but I'm just going to use the IP address since there's no need to change it. Yes, 256 is fine. 521, as it says, is a paranoid level. It's also going to use a lot more resources from your computer and your device that you're connecting in from. It'll take years to break 256, so you're fine. Yes. This is not a bad idea if the only thing your server is doing is this VPN, but if you have other stuff running in your server, consider what you're running in the server. Some stuff is sensitive to package upgrades, so you may not want to do this, but you'll have to maintain your upgrades manually. This is just, you know, if this server is only a VPN server, this is okay to do. The next step is to run PiVPN add in the terminal. This will go through creating your client profiles. If you need help, run PiVPN help, and you know, it'll give you a list of options of what it can do. So let's click OK. Do you want to reboot? Sure. System will reboot. Not a problem. It's quick. All right, let's log back in. I didn't even wait a minute before trying. Okay, now that we're logged in, let's do PiVPN. Let's do help so we can take a look at the commands. So this is pretty easy. So PiVPN, and then we type in our command. So let's start with PiVPN. I'll do the arguments instead of the full words. You know what? Nope. I'm going to do the full words because it's probably going to be easier for you guys. So PiVPN add. I'm also going to put no pass because I don't want to deal with passwords. I just want certificate authentication. And then I'll do name, and I'll do Ryan, and that should be all we need. Nope, I'm wrong. Dash dash. There we go. How many days should the certificate last? 1080 is plenty. We'll probably do something different in 1,000 days. Cool, so the OpenVPN configuration was created and it was placed here. So if we just copy that, cd to this directory, and then we do an ls for list, we'll see that ryan.ovpn file is right there. But how do we get to it? Well, at this point we can use something like FileZilla or WinSCP. Any SFTP capable transfer client will be perfect for this. I can use terminal if I want. To make this easy for you guys, I'm going to show you both ways. So in FileZilla, because we're using an SSH key, we'll just need to go create a new site really quick. Call this my PiVPN on Debian. Host, I will put in my IP address and I'll select SFTP because this is an SSH type transfer. Log on, it is a key file, and I will go select my IDRSA. Cool, FileZilla converted my key automatically for me. User is going to be root, and I'm going to go ahead and click on connect. And it's going to ask me for the password of my key. Oh, I don't think I typed that correctly. There we go. So if we come back here, again, the directory is home, Debian, OpenVPN, so we're close. So let's go back to root, home, we'll go into Debian, and into OpenVPNs. And there's my file. I can then download my file. It'll now be in my temporary downloads under HLTS. Let's just go ahead and open this directory. And since I already have Viscosity installed, if I just double click on this, the connection will import automatically. And our connection is right there. So let me disconnect from that one, and I'll connect to this guy. And look at that, we're connected. So if I then go to my web browser, and that's the IP of my droplet because all of our traffic is being tunneled through our server. Okay, let me show you how to get that file through terminal. So the first thing I want to do is go into my droplet. Let's do cd home. It was Debian, and then it was OpenVPNs. I'll do an ls, and I'm going to just copy this directory name, and then I'm going to log out of this droplet. I will then do scp root at 161.35.127.41. I'm then going to put a full colon followed by the directory I want to get. I'll add that slash and ryan.ovpn space, and then we're going to put the directory that we want. So I'll do tilde for home. Then I will do downloads and my temporary downloads folder, and then I'll do my HLTS folder. Because this is going through SSH, it's going to ask me for my key. Whoops. Put a slash when I should have put a dot. Let's try again. There we go, and the file downloaded. This is one of the quick ways to set up a VPN server to get yourself up and going. Let's talk about 443 and why we did TCP versus UDP. When you are at a hotel or any other public place that now does application filtering or port and content filtering, port filtering is very simple for any place to do, but typically they're only letting out very common ports, 80, 443, 53, and a few others. Typically they're not letting out 1194, which is the default port for OpenVPN. Some places want to block that intentionally so that you can't get out and bypass their filters. Well, doing 443 over TCP makes it look like you're just connecting to a web server, unless they're doing a deep level or certificate level inspection. So you're going to be able to get out more places with 443 TCP than you are with UDP on other ports. I have a DigitalOcean droplet that I do run personally for myself with these exact settings. And it wasn't until I realized that, yeah, doing it this way actually gets me out of airports and a lot of other places that just block it, that I started doing it this way. Now, this might not be right for everyone. It also takes up more resources on the client and the server, not by much. If you're the only person doing it, don't even consider how much resource usage it's going to take, because it's very minimal. But now if you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 people connecting to a VPN server, then yeah, you might want to go with UDP. And you can still use 443, but I'm going to do another one of these videos showing you how to do it with WireGuard. But in the meantime, thanks for joining. This is Ryan with Home Lab Tech Support. Don't forget to subscribe and click that little bell, and you can check out another one of these two videos. That one or that one. See you later.